Whenever I bet, I could change the odds for every bookmaker in the country.
Tell them to bring me my money.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar.
What's up, everybody? We are the Gritty Gamblers, and we're back. I'm Parlay Joe. I'm your host, accompanied by no other than my right-hand man, Matt. What's up, Matt? How you doing?
I'm doing good, doing good, Joe. How you doing?
Doing well. You got that hockey jersey on. You ready for some hockey?
Man. So the preseason started for the NHL. I got my McDavid jersey on today.
I was making sure it wasn't Islanders. We had a little beef, bro.
Nah, I'm a Cats fan personally, but I'm wearing the McDavid jersey just because I love McDavid's style swagger as a player.
I like it. All right, we got some Thursday night football tonight.
Yeah, we got Packers Lions tonight.
We got
Spread
Packers
sitting at about
Lions.
2.5. What are
The
your thoughts
Lions-
on that game, Joe?
Man, I honestly, this is what I call a rat. And I don't touch these games at all because, like, you never know. And I mean, I see a lot of sharps are betting Green Bay spread because it has gone up to the.
I'll tell you this: they were this morning. That's the sharps kind of moved in the afternoon. I saw sharps moved back and forth, kind of like because I was seeing a lot of conflicting data from the sharps to where, but they're all hovering in between the 55 to 45% range. They're not that far off from each other.
Yeah.
So it would be really fall into that definition of you said it's like a rat game. The only thing I'm considering personally is the fact that when we mentioned this like an episode ago or a couple episodes back, Vegas has really been putting that Packers line around that +2, 1.5 range the past couple weeks, and we hit on it when they played Atlanta. We hit on it when they played Atlanta, and we didn't mention it when they played the Saints, but it did hit when they played the Saints, if I'm not mistaken. If you look at the money line, or I think the spread was about no. I think it would have missed because I think it was 1.5. So they missed that one. So it just shows you how tricky that line is.
Yeah.
And with that being said, I was considering I think the Packers do win tonight personally. I know Tyler was mentioning on the short that he dropped earlier on the YouTube. I also think the Packers win tonight. It's going to be a close game, but it's in Lambeau. Jordan Love is going to show a lot of stuff tonight, I think.
Jordan Love's going to look good.
They're going to have the full offense back, and Matt LaFleur is one of the best schemers in the league, whether people want to give him credit.
Allowed to coach now, his quarterback. So that's good. And one other thing to say, Green Bay is undefeated against the spread this year. And only one loss.
That means they did do good. They covered
only one loss by 1 point. So, I mean, it looks good. Like, I understand why they're taking it, but like I'm a big money guy and the money's not lining up. So
it's not lining up like you want a true part bet to look like. Yeah.
But for these games, like it doesn't matter. And that's what I can never put into my head. That's why I just never touch it. So, but I do like the under tonight again. I'm riding with the unders this year. Don't really care. Got another under two that I'm working on in college football tonight. We're going over. It's got to figure out who it is again. It is Middle Tennessee and Western Kentucky. It's at 61. So it's pretty high. I don't know much about the teams. They don't look too hot, but
Western Kentucky is one of the biggest passing offenses in the country.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking like a lot of people are like, I don't know. I feel like most people are taking the over, but it doesn't.
I'll tell you, the Western Kentucky defense played a really tight game versus Troy that they ended up not winning last week.
Yeah.
They played pretty close game, but in the end, Troy played pretty well.
Yeah, Troy's pretty good.
Yeah. And they've ended up taking that game. But the one thing I noticed, because I watched that game pretty closely, and what I've noticed is the Western Kentucky defense are really good at creating turnovers. So that's one thing you'd want to watch. That actually be helping you towards the under in a way, to be honest.
Yeah.
So that's something that's good to consider.
Usually, turnovers are a good thing. Usually,
Yeah.
as long as they don't run it back. As long as they don't run it back. But those are the two unders I'm looking at tonight. I'm probably going to parlay them. Don't know what it looks like yet. Let me pull that up for us, and I'll let you know in a minute. But we're going to move on to some college football. And definitely the first play tonight, as you guys saw in the lineup, Kansas plus 16.5. I think I originally hit it at plus 18.5.
I like the alt plus 19.5 as well
You got the
myself. But
19.5.
safer. Give yourself a field goal by 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, that is the original spread. So it's a good parlay builder, as we like to say.
Yeah.
And I like it. I mean, it's a trap game, man. I'm telling you.
They got to go to North the next week, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, they're looking forward to next week. I mean, 14% of the bets of the money line are on Kansas with 80% of the money backing it. So that's something to be said. And they're undefeated. And it's time for Jalen Daniels. This is his game to
He's going to play on a national stage.
Yeah, this is his time to show the world. This is not, 12 o'clock on ESPN3. This is on
Playing
ABC.
BYU.
This is ABC matchup. Like, this is going to be seen. Everyone's going to see it. I think he shows up. I really do.
Another two games that we both like. First, I'd like to look at, Spencer Rattler, what they got going on in South Carolina. They're playing Tennessee this week. You like the money line. I like the plus money on it at the plus 11.5. I think that's an easy cover for them. I mean, I just don't think Joe Milton has more talent than Spencer Rattler at the end of the day.
Nah, I think Spencer Rattler's coming to town once again, and he's going to show them what the Rattler's all about, baby.
He's been playing really well since he transferred to South Carolina.
He's
had his moments where he looks bad, yes, but he looks much better.
He could be a Heisman candidate right now if he had an O-line to bar for him. And I know I've heard a million people say it, and their O-line's not good. But also, apparently, I've heard from some sources that they have 7 linemen out all year, so not the best thing for them.
You don't want to lose the trenches in the SEC.
You don't want to lose in the trenches, but that is definitely right. That's how UNC beat them, and I mean that's how eventually they got beat by Georgia.
I'll tell you this: UNC also has tons of trench talent, whether people want to admit it or not. Mac Brown they're not a football school anymore, really, yes, but he's recruited really well in the past couple of years.
Yeah, he has. People don't give him credit where credit's due, but he's done his thing.
Absolutely. And then another game I think we're both looking at was this is probably the game of the weekend for the both of us, in my opinion. I think it's that Duke Notre Dame game. To be honest with you, Riley Leonard playing Notre Dame,
and people love to bet on Notre Dame. They're like the good kid, and Colorado's the bad boys, and the public loves them. Both of them loves.
To be honest with you, everyone's probably thinking that Notre Dame's going to get right after playing a tough Ohio State game. And while Ohio State has some of the most talent in the country on their team, don't think this Duke team isn't what it is. You saw how Clemson competed when they played Florida State, and you saw how Clemson played when they played against Duke. It wasn't competable. Duke ran them off the field when they played that game, and Duke's been running every team they mostly played this year off the field. Riley Leonard is really good at processing, making throws. They're running a very similar to a pro-style offense down there at Duke. It really looks like if they're able to win the matchup against Notre Dame's defense, it's going to be hard for Notre Dame. Because if Riley Leonard's able – because the best asset that Notre Dame has is their defense, in my opinion. I know they have Sam Hartman. I understand. Sam Hartman's great.
But he's a little overhyped right now.
Yeah.
I know he was on a Netflix show when he came out of high school, but if you watched it, his team was terrible. And he wasn't good.
Let me put it to you this way. He was in the same high school class as Justin Fields. who's been a
Yeah, he
3-year NFL starter. Trevor
And
Lawrence, who's been a 3-year NFL starter.
And he's been in the dude. Justin Fields came out 3 years ago, right? Yeah.
That's my point. Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields are 3-year
This
NFL
guy's
starters.
28, right? Or
I don't
no, I
know.
think he's 25. I think he's
I know
25.
I know he's a 6-year starter in college, is what he is. Sam
Yeah,
Hartman.
he
Played
is.
5 years at Wake.
And he's old.
Yeah.
And if they're gonna say that for last year for these guys,
So like
they're gonna
Hendon Hooker.
say, yeah, like oh he's old. Like no, it didn't matter.
It applies to him too. It does.
It will. It really will. And people don't want to say it now, but that's why they're talking about Drake May and Caleb Williams. But if Caleb Williams stays out, then he's gonna be old next year. And I
I'm
think
gonna
the
be
same
honest with you.
thing
Caleb
that
Williams is coming. Caleb Williams, he's doing all this chatting. He's gonna come out this year. He knows he's a surefire number 1 pick, best prospect in a long time.
but he's not getting to go to Miami like he wanted to a year ago. I don't.
I'm sorry, but Miami, Miami's thoughts are much different on that now than they might have been a year ago.
But you never know. They drafted him, so they believe in him at the end of the day, too.
Yeah. But
So-
no, yeah. You were looking at Duke too. Riley Leonard. I know we gotta get our session in here.
Don't bet against Riley Leonard. Take it from me. I did it 2 weeks in a row. Don't do it. Just don't do it.
Yeah, we were opposites one game. Riley Leonard cashed for me. Did not help out my man Parlay Joe.
No, I'm telling you, don't bet against him.
If I'm betting, if you're similar to the guy who's betting alt spreads a lot and give you good parlay builders, and I bet 18.5 on Riley Leonard, yeah, Riley Leonard, if I'm betting minus 18.5 on Riley Leonard and hitting, yeah.
And last time I bet on Riley Leonard, he won. And that was first Clemson. So, and I had like a unit and a half at least on that. I'm pretty sure.
So you can't.
Yeah. And then keep moving on to the team. Duke played, that we were talking about is Clemson, but they're going to Syracuse.
Mm-hmm.
Line open at +9, man. It's all the way down to 6.5.
I know you've been looking at the Syracuse line a lot.
And it's always a close game. It's always a close game. I like it. I like it a lot. The 6.5, I can see it being a field goal game. It probably will come down more too.
One game that I'm watching is going to be the Oregon State versus Utah game tomorrow night. I'm really leaning towards taking Oregon State if Cam Rising doesn't play. That's really what it comes down to for me, to be honest, because they said he could come back, but they've also been saying that since week 1.
Yeah.
So it's like, if Nate Johnson plays, I'm taking Oregon State in that situation. I know Utah's defense is great, but they're not playing in Utah. And Utah's home advantage is much like, I know I mentioned Utah last Thursday, and you saw what they did versus UCLA. They completely stomped them out defensively. Dante Moore looked horrible when he's one of the best freshman quarterbacks in the country. And, I don't know if you saw the Utah-UCLA game, some of that game, but I watched that game.
I was watching it on, I had other games on, but I was sitting there watching the, when you're sitting there watching on ESPN.
So let me put it to you this way. That's the game I had on the 65-inch.
Yeah.
And then I have I have kind of like a command center, I call it over here in my area, where I have a 32-inch TV where I have, if I really want to watch another game, I'll have it on that. But usually I'll just put 4 screens on the 2 computer monitors that I have.
Yeah.
And I'll just go from there, and I have one game on the TV. And the game I had on the TV was that game. And what I noticed is Utah's defense might be the best in the Pac-12, yes. But I also, Oregon State has
the defense was good.
The Oregon State has probably the best rushing offense in the Pac-12. And what I've noticed is Utah's pass defense their run defense is phenomenal, of course, too. But their pass defense is really where they excel. Dante Moore couldn't get anything going when it came to, they would just flip the coverage. They go from press man, they go to split zone. They were just flipping the coverages on him so much and disguising so much that he couldn't really do anything. And what I'm thinking is, I'm not saying DJ Uiagalelei is going to go crazy versus them, but I think he's going to be able to make better decisions in terms of he's going to know when to run because they run a lot of RPO in Oregon State, and they run a lot of just at the same time taking out the RPO and just going fullback, put the fullback in, hard-nosed run. And if they're able to run the ball enough on a primetime game at home,
Yeah.
yeah, I like that Oregon.
Are you taking money line or are you taking the 4.5?
If I take Oregon State, I'd probably take the spread. It's like 3.5 right now.
It went up. It went up to 4.5.
I'd probably still take it because they could probably win. I mean, let me put it to you this way: they were getting the best two teams in the Pac-12.
Yeah.
All right, let me rephrase this: 2 of the top 3 teams in the Pac-12 might be in the state of Washington because you can't count out USC. But 2 of the top 3 teams in the Pac-12 might be in the state of Washington. When you got Washington and Washington State.
Yeah, Washington State is pretty good.
Cam Ward and Michael Penix Jr. I know we're gonna get into Washington and Arizona a little bit later, but yeah. And when it comes to that, Oregon State got outmatched with Washington State last week, and yet it was still a 3-point game by the end of it. And I knew to take Washington State personally just because Washington State were 3-point dogs at home. I didn't think they were going to be able to lose that game, and they won.
People talking about that game. I just totally forgot to bet about it.
They shouldn't have been 3-point dogs. They when they played better, they played a better competition than Oregon State has so far this year, and they've looked better against that competition. Like they're the reason Wisconsin's not ranked.
That is, but I mean, Wisconsin's had their own troubles this year.
You're absolutely right, but they were the ones who exposed it first.
Yeah.
So
that is a line I've been watching, but
the Pac-12 is a bunch of stuff, but at the end of the day, you got to follow the trend. And Utah's a much better home team than they are on the road. When you saw them go to Baylor, it was rough for them. They almost lost that game to Baylor.
Yeah, someone who I thought was going to have a rough weekend was going to be Washington. That you mentioned Washington a little bit ago, but I don't know anymore. Honestly, I mean they do have the money, but I mean the spread is going back up, so it's looking kind of ratty. So I'm probably going to eventually stay off that. That's the official notice. Stay off Arizona. The spread. That's the official notice. If you didn't hear it, you heard it now. But
I'm gonna tell you this. You know why? Michael Penix Jr. Where's the kid? Michael Penix Jr. is gonna go in there and do damage. Damage. I tell you. It's like he's carving teams up this year. It's not even fun.
Yeah, I watched that Boise State game. That was enough that I knew that he was.
They have 2 first-round picks at receiver.
Yeah, and then they got like
another receiver.
They got another guy that's pretty good too.
So it's like, there's no team in the Pac-12 besides maybe Utah that can really compete with them that has the amount of NFL bodies on the other side of the ball as in defense. Maybe Oregon too. Oregon, I'll say that too. Oregon does too. But
Oregon
I really feel like in 2 weeks, when Oregon, or in 2 and 3 weeks, when Oregon has to play Washington, Dan Lanning's going to get hit up. We're going to see some good TV. We're going to see some great TV.
I think Oregon will win that game, and I think USC will beat Oregon, and then it's downhill from there. It's downhill.
You know why? Because Washington would beat USC.
Because what?
I think Washington beats USC.
Or that too. So then it's really downhill because USC has 2 losses, so they're out. And then Oregon, dude, I don't know. You can't beat a team that many times, I don't think, but we'll see.
You saw how many times Michael Penix Jr. is in the last year? I think he beat him twice, right?
I mean, I'm talking Oregon versus USC. I think USC will get them this year, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends on how, like I said.
Oregon beats Washington and Washington beats USC.
We're going to discuss that Oregon-Washington game in a couple of weeks. We'll see about that one. But, hey, I'm a big Michael Penix Jr. believer. If he isn't the favorite now, put some money on him for the Heisman. If he's not the favorite.
It's like second. It's not the best, but team for, I'm going to say upset of the week is going to be at least the cover is Auburn plus 14.5. Nobody's expecting it. Nobody.
I am nobody. I am
Everybody
nobody.
wants it to happen.
It should.
As they say, Toomer's corner is going to get rolled, and Hugh Freeze is going to have a pretty good birthday weekend, man. We got the
How was
birthday.
your Freeze weekend last weekend?
Hey, he had a birthday yesterday, so we going on this weekend. But I mean, this is the perfect spot I wanted to be at, honestly. I wanted to lose. I said this in a space. I said I want Auburn to lose to Texas A&M. No one thinks Auburn is anybody. And then they play Georgia in Jordan-Hare, where I've seen some crazy stuff happen.
As Alabama fan, I know.
There was another play that was versus Georgia that was even crazier, and nobody talks about it anymore.
Talking about the Nick Marshall play?
The ball like jumped in the air like six times and then hit the ground and bounced back up, and they still caught it. Yeah. That so yeah, Miracle and Jordan-Hare, I think that's what they call it. But I think they're going to cover the 14.5. I promise you that. But watch out for that money line, baby.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Sitting there right now. I'm pretty sure
SEC
1%.
play. I really feel like Georgia.
This is a rivalry game. No matter what people want to think, this is a rivalry. It hasn't been one since 2017 when Auburn blew them out. But 1% of the bet is on Auburn with 43% of the money. Come on, bro. That's for the money line. The spread is 24-37 backing. The spread opened at 18.5. It's come down to 14.5. I've been preaching this since the off season. I've been blocked. I've been bookmarked. I don't care. This is going to happen. Auburn will upset Georgia this weekend in Jordan-Hare. The number one team will go down.
I personally don't see it happening. I just think they had their scare versus South Carolina. And
that was nothing.
Being down 14 points at half, two scores at half is something when you're Georgia. So,
but
they
were at Georgia, right?
Let me double check that game.
They were at Georgia. This is Carson Beck's first road test, and it's in Jordan-Hare, the place where they got bodies buried under the dang field. I'm telling you, they got an Indian burial ground. They got a Native American burial ground underneath the fields. This place is haunted, guys. You never want to go here. In the words of Paul Bear Bryant, never stepping foot on that cow pasture. I think he says some other words.
I just don't trust Peyton Thorne to beat Georgia.
It don't matter. We're back to a 2-quarterback system, baby. Y'all should be worried about Carson Beck. Oh, my goodness, bro.
He's looked decent this year.
Auburn defense, bro, I'm telling you. Auburn shows up when you least expect it. Trust me, I'm an Alabama fan. They beat us when they never should even be in the freaking game. They show up for these games. Hugh Freeze shows up for games like this. He lost the dang Peach Bowl, and the athletic director got the students rings for beating because they beat Alabama that year, bro.
They didn't score more than 3 points offensively versus Texas A&M.
That don't matter. That don't matter.
I love how I'm giving you all these facts. You just go, "Hey man, that don't matter."
You get that beer and you sit back and you watch.
Hey, man. Cheers, brother. Cheers.
I'm telling you, bro.
Nah.
I've been calling this since before the season. It's looking like
you
this.
said you've been getting bookmarked though. That's crazy. People hate.
Bro,
that.
I've gotten blocked. I've got unfollowed. I don't care, bro.
Them dog fans after you, huh?
Hey, they can keep coming because when it happens, I'm gonna scream at this phone as loud as I can.
No, don't scream at the phone. You gotta hit him with the Ben Shelton.
No, I'm gonna put the camera up. I'm gonna have the camera up. Promises made. Promises delivered. They don't want it, bro.
Speaking of SEC, one game I was watching, but like I'm very tempted on is the Kentucky-Florida game. I know we mentioned it last episode.
Yeah. All right. We need to look at this game because let's look at where it's looking at right now. Because first thought, I want to do Kentucky, but I feel like everyone
Is going to be on them. Everyone I think is going to be on
Florida.
Kentucky. I mean, I know Florida's ranked, but you're playing an undefeated Kentucky team at home, and that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Mark Stoops can coach.
Mark Stoops can coach. Let me find it. But this is a game that I've been waiting for, too. At least
This is going to be a good test for Florida. Very good test.
Florida. All right. But the thing is this line has dropped from 3.5 to plus 1.5 for Florida. But the money is like it's 57.84. Everyone's on Kentucky, obviously. But like, if something, I don't know. If they could get the money,
it might be a rack game. It might be a rack game.
It looks like a rat game. It looks like a stay away, but. And with that being said, like I don't know, Kentucky could blow them out. Honestly,
I mean, you saw what they did versus Vanderbilt. I mean, I know Vanderbilt's not that good, but
well, I don't know. I don't like the way the line's moving. That's what I'll say.
Another game. I know you mentioned it on the lineup. By the way, shout out the lineup.
Yeah.
On Twitter, shout out the lineup. Go check it out if y'all ever want to.
On Twitter, on Facebook, and Instagram.
Parlay Joe, the lineup.
At Parlay Joe.
But no, and with another play from the lineup was Ole Miss versus LSU.
Ole Miss, that was an honorable mention.
That's a play I actually agree with. I think Jackson Dart is going to be able to put in some work. I mean,
and they're going back to Oxford. So
I know we sound like a broken record saying this from last week, but I mean, LSU is in Alabama.
One more chance.
LSU is in Alabama, and that's really it. Because I mean, LSU.
Brian Kelly is not Nick Saban. That's what we need to say because this screams like. Also, something when I look at this game, I think back to the SEC media day. Lane Kiffin said, I take responsibility for after we lost to Alabama and the team basically gave up and let 4 go. We will not do that this year. I feel like this is that statement that he has. That's his promise that he made. We will not keep losing after we lose to Alabama. We will fight. And I
mean, they got talent all over the field, Ole Miss, just like LSU. I mean,
it's the same thing like that Auburn-Georgia line. I mean, it's not as big, but it has come down 2.5 points.
I like Ole Miss money line, and I like Ole Miss, definitely like Ole Miss plus 2.
Yeah, that plus 120 is still a plus 120. We got the money backing us with only 16% of bets. Spread 25-38. We're looking good, man. I'm telling that games look good. The only thing could happen is if the line comes back up like it did with Atlanta.
Absolutely, yeah.
If that happens,
it's not going to be.
We might need to make a X post.
Quick X post, yeah.
Yeah. Correction.
One game I wanted to ask you about, because I know people are going to be wondering what our opinions are on this game, is what's your thoughts on Colorado USC? Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's in my opinion, this is really a definition of a rat game to me. Because USC looks like the easiest bet you could think of. But USC doesn't have the NFL bodies on defense that Oregon had.
And it's went up a whole touchdown, so that's scary. But
I think they went up a touchdown in reaction to last week.
I think it did. But
that's
the
really
only thing I'm waiting on is for someone to back that spread.
Yeah, someone to pick a side.
Yeah, because it's 38 with 29% backing. So if that's literally just a bunch of randoms have bet some money and they've bet enough to like hold that spot on USC.
Because
But
for all we know, Colorado could be a different team in Boulder than they will be going to Eugene.
exactly. And I don't know if you seen this list of all the stars. Like they've turned this thing into the.
It's gonna be a TV Central, yeah.
Yeah, but like Snoop Dogg's there, Will Ferrell's there. They're for USC. LeBron's gonna be there. Bronny's gonna be there.
USC, yeah. USC representatives, Colorado representatives at the game. Everyone's
And then
gonna be
there's Mike Irvin's gonna be there.
Come on.
Watch out, Dion. Don't bring in all your buddies like Nick Saban did and turn this thing into a rehab place.
Give them jobs.
Yeah, you
start giving them jobs.
don't do it, bro. I'm telling you. But I like it because the money line's already got the money back in it, and if we can get it on the spread, that's a great play.
Another reason that makes me feel like it's a rat, and this is not really anything on the field related, it's just more marketing related, is how much the sports books are pushing Colorado bets to people. So, like, for example, I know FanDuel, they opened up a tab today that has just its own Colorado betting section, just for Colorado football. Like, they did the same thing with Travis Kelce and Swift. Like, they did Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift special, like, betting specials. It's like
we got to talk a little bit about that, too.
All right, let's get it in. Let's get it in right now.
Stop it.
I mean, I love the Kelce's. I watch New Heights, but like
Belichick said something about it, bro.
Yeah, it's getting OC. It's too much. Like
laughing about it, but like, dude, what?
Yeah, it's getting over the top. Like when Andy Reid's making jokes saying, "Who do you think hooked them up?" Like, come on.
It's just corny, man. It's really corny.
Every time I open up X or anytime I get on Instagram in the past since Monday, I can't avoid it. And like, let me put it. I know this is
a block about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift mentions, so I can't see it.
I know we're talking football right now, but I gotta get a mention on it right now. Thank the heavens that Dame got traded during this week to stop half that news, so we didn't have to hear about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah.
Because Dame, at least since yesterday, people have been talking about Dame to the Bucks, which, by the way, I'm dropping my Wizard jersey for the season. You will see me back wearing my Antetokounmpo jersey for the season. It's going to be a fun ride. I'm going to be honest with you. I have my Antetokounmpo jersey over there. It's going to be fun. I'm going to bring it out soon. But, yeah, it's going to be fun.
I think this is a master scheme to get Giannis to the Lakers. This is what I think.
You know why I disagree? Because I think he's going to sign that 3-year contract now. He has Dame.
No. You play 1 year with Dame. See if you like it. Dame's going to want to go home.
He has 3 years on his deal.
Giannis comes with them.
The Lakers would have to give them President Donald, like whoever the president is now. Like, they don't have the access to get for both of them. Like, I don't know what you're trying to say.
Oh, we're gonna get it. We'll get both of them. Maybe when Bronny's on the team and LeBron's off the team.
Brother Joe, you ready for your delusional Laker rant talk now? You ready? I'm about to give it to you. You guys play in a conference with Nikola Jokic. Stop it. Get some help. Stop it. Like, I don't want to hear it. You guys have to play against the Phoenix Suns and the Denver. What?
They ain't got no bench.
Deeper than y'all.
They ain't got no bench.
They have more depth than you guys now. Did you see how much better they got from that trade?
Bro, we got Christian Wood, and nobody wants to talk about it, bro.
Because he can't play defense.
Bro, we got the Twin Tower. It's going to be crazy, man. I'm telling you. There's no hype on us this year. I love it. There's no hype on.
What do you mean? They're talking. All right. You have to understand. The Lakers have hype, every year. I can't wait till this NBA season starts because now we're gonna have more stuff. And the NHL.
We don't have
especially
hype
the
like
NBA
that. We don't have hype like that this year.
season. You're in a conference with the Denver Nuggets and the Phoenix Suns. How many times do I have to say it? Like,
It's perfect because no one's gonna be betting on it. They're gonna be like, "Oh, the Suns," and then
no,
they're gonna
the Nuggets. The Nuggets.
the Nuggets.
I'm gonna tell you this though. I'm gonna tell you this. The real truth is the Bucks are on top. I'm gonna be honest.
You see the Bucks drop down to like 375. I'm not touching that anymore. Dude, come on, bro.
You can't bet the Bucks to win the title anymore. It's not good money anymore. To be honest with you though, this is my opinion on it. I'm not gonna put in a bet for a championship winning just because I think the Bucks are gonna win the title, but it's not worth me putting a bet on it. It's not. Because you're betting at so many other odds that it's not going to be worth you risking that money for low odds to come back. At the same time, it's like there's so many other ways you can make bets to say that you think the Bucks will win the title. You can say they're going to win this series in a certain amount of games. You can say they're going to win this series in a certain amount of games. Also, Miami Heat fans, I'm sorry for y'all. Peanuts.
Bro, it's so funny because Jimmy Butler's like,
Tampering.
Tampering. Oh,
You know
bro,
what's even
what
funnier?
are you doing?
Tyler Hero quote tweeted it when Tyler Hero quote tweeted and said what he said. I'm like, you're about to get traded. What do you mean what he said?
This dude was literally, he took all Miami out of his thing and then go, what he said? Dude, come
He
on.
just put it all back in there now. That's the funny part. He just put it all back in there. You know what he tweeted today? He said, as a kid from Milwaukee, you know I'm going to be getting me a Dame Bucks jersey. He is trolling on Twitter today.
I guess you got to, right?
You got to laugh off it. You got to laugh it off.
You gotta laugh it off because you probably going to get traded next week for somebody else. So
He probably was, where do you think Drew Holiday's going?
I saw
He might go back to Philly, yeah.
I saw the Sixers. Yeah, I saw the Sixers
It's
wanted
either
it.
Philly, maybe New Orleans. I think maybe one of his old teams like that potentially. Yeah, it's crazy. I really think the Bucks did really well for themselves because when you're gonna put out a team with Giannis, Middleton, Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, and Dame,
You think the Bucks could get Drew Holiday back?
no.
Does he have a big contract?
Kind of, yeah. I think it's like 4 years, 120, so it's about $30 million a year. But I really think what it really is, I think the Blazers are trying to get 2-3 first round picks out of him. He's 33, yes, but hear me out. He's 33, but he's a win now player, and he's an NBA champion, first team.
They're trying to get some of them picks from Oklahoma City. Is what they're trying to do.
Imagine Drew Holiday next to SGA.
That'd be pretty good.
SGA don't got to facilitate no more. He can just score.
And then all the other guys who were so good when they were 6-man could go back being really good and being 6-man. Yeah.
And not having to play guard.
Yeah.
When SGA did that all year because they're tanking. Which is what they did last. I digress. SGA, in my opinion, so underrated. He's going to be a top 10 player in this league if he's not already. So good. But no, yeah, we kind of got off track with that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift stuff. That kind of got us off kilter, but we had to address it because it's everywhere. But just for me to get my quick hitters for NFL lines that I'm watching this week.
I'm about to say, it'll take us right into the NFL.
Yeah, I'm loving this Browns -2 versus the Ravens -2.5. The Ravens are so banged up right now. So banged up. I know they got a couple running backs coming back, and they still have a couple players coming back, but the Browns have the best defense in the NFL, in my opinion.
The Browns do look pretty good.
And if they're able to contain on Lamar, because they played the best man coverage in the league. They do. They played the best man coverage in the league.
You got Myles Garrett. I mean,
if Garrett and I don't know if Zadarius Smith is healthy. I know
they got Newsome, and then they got Ward, and then they got
Delpit at safety.
Don't they have Denzel Valentine or something like that? Or is that?
No, you're thinking of Denzel Ward.
All right.
Denzel Valentine was a former player for the Bulls.
Sorry. So What other games were you looking for this week? Because one game I
I
like.
also like that Bengals line versus Tennessee. I know you always say this thing about Vrabel, but they might get cooked up versus the Bengals, man. I'm either liking the under in that game or I'm liking the Bengals minus 2.5 just because the Titans have a horrible pass defense, but one of the best rush defenses in the league. I think Joe Burrow might carve them up.
I think you go to 3.5 and you shoot for the stars. And you just hope that Joe Burrow doesn't play.
What do you mean?
You buy up. You get the plus 3.5. Bro, Tennessee is going to cover this game.
They're not. I'm taking
Yeah,
Cincinnati.
they will. Nah, this is perfect Tennessee moment. Play really bad and then play really good.
They can't stop a lick in the air, though.
It's
They
not
have
gonna,
horrible pass defense.
that won't
Like,
matter.
they can't guard a lick.
That won't matter. It's Vegas, dude.
I mean, it does when you're playing a decent quarterback who just needs wins.
That's what I'm going to start saying when you bring up facts. I'm just say Vegas. Vegas.
You gotta put the
Vegas,
hand up
baby.
to it too. You just gotta be like Vegas.
Vegas.
And then another line I'm watching is, yo, they put the Jets on Sunday Night Football, man. I'm watching that Chiefs minus 9.5 line. They might get routed
Yeah, they probably will get routed.
because the defense is gonna be one of those games. I know everyone loves the Jets defense, but it's gonna be a breaking point for them probably, where they're gonna either. And it's going to be a breaking point in two ways. Either going to play such a good game where they're like, we're playing so well against the best team in the league and we don't have a quarterback. What's going on? And then they'll break. Or they'll just get done up.
You'll see CJ Mosley go down, and then he's going to try to dip. He's going to fake go down, and he's going to try to get out of there. He looks miserable, bro. He looks miserable, trying to tell people what to do. He's like,
they don't have a quarterback playing this year. That's
put
why.
people in their spot. Like, he's like,
You know, if they had Rodgers, he'd be okay.
they had Rodgers, he'd be fine. But
That's my
when
point.
when he had Rodgers, he was still a little frustrated. He was like,
Yeah,
put people
but the
in their
difference
spot.
is, he's always been seen as that grumpy little vet for them when he was on their defense.
Always been a grumpy.
But it looks worse now when it's in the spotlight of everyone looks like that on the team because the whole team looks bad right
Yeah.
now.
It looks bad. But
And then I haven't seen
it's
the line.
all on the young fella, but I mean, bless his heart, bro.
Yo, I
Like-
saw the interview that Zach Wilson gave today. He's trying, man. He's trying so hard. He took it all on the chin. He's moving. He said we gotta play better. Like, he's saying the right things off the field. It doesn't mean it's gonna help him on the field.
I think he should say I gotta play better, but I mean
That's what he said. That's what I meant. That's what he said.
Oh, he did? Finally.
He was focusing on himself. Yeah, I didn't mean like we. Of course, he's probably said we in some point.
He has said the team has to play better before, as like blaming
Putting it on other people.
That is like putting it on someone else when, bro, come on, man. Like,
Hey, remember how we were just talking about that Utah game earlier?
yeah.
If Nate Johnson could take the blame from them only scoring 14 points versus UCLA and put it on himself in college as a freshman, true freshman starting right now, then come on, Zach. Come on, Zach. What's wrong with him and these guys like him and Justin Fields, man?
I also think San Francisco will rout Arizona this week. But
Yeah, that spread's like 14 points, right?
yeah.
You could be an effort guy for so long, man. And I love Josh Dobbs. I'm probably going to put something out on him for Stadium Rant later in the week on make a little content short for him. And I love Josh Dobbs. I really think he's one of the best 3 backup quarterbacks in the league right now. But at the same time, he's going to have to run into Nick Bosa.
Yeah. Another game I'm looking at is New England and Dallas.
Please tell me you think it's a trap game for Dallas Part 2.
I don't know, man. It just looks ratty because it's
What's the line at right now for that game? I wasn't really looking at that game.
I think it was started at -4 for the Cowboys, and then now it's at -6.5.
Woo.
Has the money.
I don't know why it's moving in that direction.
Yeah.
I don't know. The game's in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this right now. Might be a game to take Zeke over on yards.
See, bro.
Everyone said he didn't have juice, and then he outran Ramondre last week. He had 15 carries for 86.
Yeah, that was his best game all year.
And the Cowboys defense can't stop the lick on the ground. They can't. If you watch the
they're
Cardinals
third
tape,
against the run this year.
but did you watch the tape?
Fantasy.
What did you watch the tape against? The
I read a
Cardinals?
whole article about it. They couldn't stop a lick. They can't stop Arizona.
James Conner was barely moving out there, moving like a Mack truck, and he was still just flying for yards left and right on them.
You
Josh
think I
Dobbs-
should all right, little fancy off. You think I should drop I picked up that Javon Ashney at 8. I don't know.
Oh, Devon A-Chain?
Yeah, A-Chain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should I drop him and pick up Ezekiel Elliott? Because,
No. At the end of the day, you have to hold on to a guy like A-Chain when he's playing in front of a guy like Mozart, because Mozart is crazy good, yes, but Mozart never finishes the season. So you're going to have to hold A-Chain, because A-Chain will be the starter probably for them by the end of the year, most likely, if not going into next year. I don't know if it's a dynasty league or not, but if it's a redraft league, you'd want to hold him for the playoffs potentially, because he has an opportunity to get garbage time play.
It's not a draft, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm just – would you play Brian Robinson this week? I'm kind of stuck, bro. It's either him or Ramondre Stevenson.
I'll tell you this. A-Chain's a better play this week than you think. What are your running backs that you're playing?
I got Ramondre Stevenson. I got A-Chain, and I got what's his name?
Brian Robinson?
Yeah, Brian Robinson.
Don't play Brian Robinson. They're playing Philly. It's going to be terrible.
That's
Jalen
what I
Carter-
was thinking.
I'm not. This is purely jokes. I'm making a joke right now, but Jalen Carter's playing like he's on PEDs, like they can't stop the man. He is that Shannon Sharp meme, like call for help. They need it. Like, yeah, that's kind of offensive lineman interior when they got to go against him and Fletcher Cox.
Drink 4 cognacs when Brittany Renner says, "Hey,
Times three.
times 3." You see,
Times 3.
I wrote, multiplied by 3, bro. What the?
Hey, shout out J. Cole. Anyways, but besides the point.
You gotta multiply that shit by 3. I used to love that song, bro. People used to tell me that J. Cole wasn't gonna be anyone, and I would fucking scream that song in my car, bro, in high
Best
school.
lyricist, man.
That shit, dude.
But nah, yeah. I did want to bring this up. One line
What's
I am
up?
watching for prop.
Yeah.
Watching Keenan Allen yards this week. He's
Keenan Allen?
looking like he's back in his top 5 receiver in the league vibes
Yeah,
again.
he looked pretty good in the little. I ain't got red zone anymore because it costs $500. But
Crazy.
the NFL Network's got their own little red zone, and it's like it's ahead of red zone on the computer. So I just watch it.
But Keenan Allen, Mike Williams is out for the rest of the year.
Did see that, dude? I was trying to trade for him, bro.
What I realized is Herbert has a thing where he just throws the ball at 13.
I know. I was thinking about this the other night. I'm like, I'm just gonna draft Herbert for now on, man. I drafted Trevor Lawrence in like this one league that's like means the most, and
You know what's funny? I think we're in the same club because I did that in one of my main money leagues as well. You know what I was able to find on the waivers?
yeah, it's the money league. That's what I'm like upset about. And then
You know who I was able to get though off the waivers? I don't know how. Kirkio himself, Kirk Cousins, baby.
I was looking at him, but I got Anthony Richardson, so I
Kirk
just
Cousins QB2 on the season, 300 yards every game. Hey,
I'm a
let's just
Rob
say I
Wingard.
changed my team profile picture to Kirk with the chain. Kirkio is now my quarterback. Shout
I'm
out
a Robin AR. All he has to do is play 2 quarters, and we're good. He'll score 3 touchdowns, and I'll just walk
You want
off.
to get your Colt segment in here, Parlay Joe, while we're here? You brought up AR?
I don't know what's gonna happen this week, but I need the boys to be right this week, and don't do the usual and just flat out after your big win. So let's
They
keep
got
it
Matt
going.
Stafford and the Rams this week.
Yeah, I'm worried about Aaron Donald, not Matt Stafford, but yeah.
Should be. Y'all
I
don't play
picked
no.
up Tutu Atwell. Oh, bro, he
Y'all
was
don't got
on.
no secondary. What do you mean?
Yeah,
You're
but
gonna get skilled, barbecued.
I think Juju's
They're not gonna
gonna.
be able to run the ball against you, but they don't run the ball that much.
Yeah, they're not gonna run the ball, but I'm worried about Aaron Donald because AR likes to run around like a crazy person. I'm hoping after a week,
Aaron
after
Donald,
2
I'm gonna
weeks,
be honest with you. You can't worry about it because it's gonna happen. You just gotta brace for impact. No
Yeah.
pun intended. I'm serious. No pun intended.
it's just the game I did not want him to play. I wanted him to start next week is what I wanted, but
Because Aaron Donald will get to the quarterback. It just matters how you land.
Minshew Mania is pretty fun right now. I will say that.
If you're trying to sacrifice a quarterback to Aaron Donald, bro,
We should trade Minshew Mania. I think that's gonna be my next article.
he's gonna be in my short too. He's one of the top 3 backups in the league, in my opinion.
Yeah, I want.
It's
I think-
him. It's him, Josh Dobbs, and Jacoby Brissett. I'll break it down more, but those are the 3 probably. In
I
my
might
opinion.
do. Who should the Jets go? Or what quarterback?
That's literally what their short was gonna be.
I'll just do what quarterbacks are on the trade market. I'm not writing a fucking Jets piece.
No, but that's literally what I was thinking of because I really
Yeah.
think if there's any quarterback they can go target, in my opinion, probably be Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs is the best.
I like
leadership
Josh
candidate.
Dobbs. I like Gardner, and I like Ryan Tannehill and Kirk Cousins.
The only reason why you can't call those last two really back. Maybe Tanner. You can't really call them backups.
Well, no. I'm not saying backups. I'm
Or
saying
trade candidates.
trade candidates for.
Kirk Cousins is probably the most premium of the bunch because
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins is a better quarterback than people expect. He can actually sling the ball around the park. Tannehill, don't take this the wrong way. He a bum. There's a reason he's a converted wide receiver.
I'm saying 2 different languages. He's trash. He's basura. He's garbage. A 3.
There's a reason he's a converted wide receiver. That's all I'm gonna say.
He's not good.
But yeah, Kirk Cousins is premium, and why I really like Josh Dobbs is he's an effort guy. He's not the most talented, but he's gonna get crazy
He did
leadership.
really good last year too.
Mm-hmm. He
I'm
led
surprised
Tennessee when they
he
should
let
have been
him
winning
walk.
games.
I don't know why Tennessee let him walk. That was crazy, but maybe Malik Willis watched him a little bit.
Their
figured it
QB
out a
room
little.
is too deep. They have Malik Willis, they have Will Levis, they have him. I mean, they have Ryan Tannehill. Like they have so many people in the room. They couldn't.
Will
have,
Levis. Woo!
They talk more about his ex-girlfriend than him.
Ex-girlfriend. I'm glad you said that, bro. She's coming. Hey, she's ready. She saw my videos. She's coming. She's waiting for me.
Hey, Parlay Joe on the train, man. Wingman Casa, we on the way. We on the way.
We on the
Parlay
way.
Joe Hey,
Hey,
We coming.
she's got a Burger King deal. Shawty with a Burger King deal. Holla at your boy.
hey, come on, man. Get my man in the Whopper commercial, man. Whopper, Parlay Whopper. Come on now.
Whopper, chicken Whopper.
All right, let's stop. Let's not get sued. All right. But yeah, those are the main ones. The best play I like the most is that I really like that Browns line. It's probably my favorite NFL play of the week of the ones I'm looking at. Just because I think talent-wise they match up with Baltimore really well when Baltimore is this injured. I know Baltimore's going to be trying to play hard after the division win, but you also have to look at it this way. When they played against Cincinnati, they gutted out a tough win there. So yeah, we'll see. But my favorite play is the Browns, and then for college football, my favorite 2 plays are the Duke play and the South Carolina play.
Yeah, Duke, South Carolina, and Auburn. Not Auburn, Auburn.
We're gonna chat on that one, bro. We'll see. I like Georgia in that game. I do personally. But with that
And
said,
everyone else and their mother does too. So that's why
me, mother, I, and the family. Georgia.
it's gonna happen. I've been saying this all off season. I'm like, when Georgia fans are like, dude, go undefeated. I'm like, I don't know, man. You might lose to Auburn and Jordan Hare. And they're dude, they get nuts, bro. They get nuts.
They're back to
How?
back champions.
How?
now,
Explain
so
how.
It's hard for them to see them losing any game right now. You know that.
Yeah, no.
Like that's why it's like I can't take the Homer fans seriously. But it's like, for example, have you seen me mention the Commanders once today? No. We're getting smoked over the weekend. We're getting smoked on Sunday. We're getting skilleted. It's not gonna be fun. Like the
Colts,
Eagles,
I'm still off a big win with my Colts now.
you don't understand. The Eagles are out to get us, man. Because who ended their undefeated season last year? Taylor Heineke. So yeah, man.
Did they play the Falcons this year?
Who, the Eagles? Let me
Heineke,
double check if they play the Falcons this year. I can look at it right here.
and they're off Desmond Ritter by then, and
Whew.
Heineke
Nah,
goes.
the Eagles do not play the Falcons this year.
Oh,
But yeah, Taylor Heineke. I mean, to be honest with you, the reason we really beat them was the defense. It wasn't Heineke. I mean, we scored points, but it was the defense. But yeah, like they're gonna be out. They might be out to get us in this game. I mean, it's tough. We're going to the Link, Sam Howell road start. It's gonna be rough. Divisional matchup. Those Eagles fans, the rowdiness. We just lost by 34. Yeah, I mean, it might not be a fun one. I didn't bring it up for a reason. Yeah, no comment. No comment. We might get. Oh, and we should mention it before we get out of here today. The first London game's coming up this week.
we do have a London game. It
It's
is
at
the
9:30.
Falcons.
What's your
Versus
thoughts?
Jags.
I think it's a. I know I use this word a lot when I was talking about the Bears and the Broncos, the poo-poo bowl, but it's not a poo-poo bowl, but it's like it's an average. It's just it's a mid-off, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
it's a mid off. That's a popular phrase right now. It's a mid off, but
I'll tell you this: the Jags do play good in London usually.
yeah, and the Jags are there for 2 weeks, but I don't know. I want to say Falcons, but I don't want to trust them.
You saw how they did us dirty last week.
Yeah.
Desmond Ritter can't throw the ball. That's the one thing about the Texans. C.J. Stroud can hit passes. If you stop the run versus the Falcons, which the Jags do have a pretty good defense, they held Kansas City to 17 points.
I can see the under hitting in that game.
I could definitely see the under hitting in this game. That might be the play in that game, yeah. That might be a super under because I think that it might be if the Jags win, it's going to be a close, tight, like low-scoring game.
Yeah, it's gonna be like 10-3 or something.
Yeah. Some dumb stuff. But yeah, with that being said, I think we've mostly hit all the stuff we needed to for this week. Is there anything else you wanted to cover, Parlay Joe?
Not really.
All right, I think we out of here. Gritty Gamblers, Thursday. We see you back on Monday. We'll be here 7 o'clock. Peace.
Let's go.
Whenever I bet, I could change the odds for every bookmaker in the country.
Tell them to bring me my money.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar.
It's time to bring me my money.